Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome to episode 7 of Sloka Learning Course, and today is the last episode this particular video, and feel free to leave any questions that you have regarding any part of the course. Leave that in the comments. And after this, today's topic is Bengali pronunciation, and after that I think we will be finishing a little bit earlier today. And if you have any questions about any part of the whole series, of the whole Shloka learning series, you can ask, and then we will try to address it so that we will keep as many loops closed as possible. All right. Thank you very much, and so we will begin. So actually, let us begin with what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said. He said that in the future, he said this in the beginning 1900s somewhere, that he said in the future, many foreigners will learn Bengali just to read Caitanya-caritamrta. And that was his prediction. And Srila Prabhupada, he presented, of course, the whole Caitanya-caritamrta in English. But then again, to learn the verses and all that, eventually, we have to get acquainted with Bengali. As much as I am also not a Bengali, but because all our acharyas are coming from there, and so many of our songs, Vaishnava Acharya's songs, are also in Bengali. Narottam Das Thakur's songs and Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs, all are in Bengali. In fact, Srila Prabhupada also wrote Gitar Gan. Gitar Gan is actually, if you see Bengali Bhagavad Gita book, even now, there will be the Gitar Gan. So Anir Bideshi Prabhu is asking, I want to know what are the key verses one should start to memorize. Okay, good. So we will answer all these things at the end. So, Anuradha Mataji, Ajanya, Kiss Hari, Swati, Saroj, Prabhu, Vanajakshi Mataji, welcome, and whoever is there who hasn't said Hare Krishna yet. So Hare Krishna to you all, and welcome to this last episode of this Shloka learning course. So all the Acharya's songs are there in Bengali, and for that reason, whether we are Bengali or not, we still have to get acquainted with that language. And it is not very difficult if you know any part of Indian language. And even with Sanskrit background, it will be very easy for us to get acquainted with Bengali. Of course, we are not Sanskrit scholars. Sanskrit is almost a forgotten language. But from the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, so this whole course, it was actually mostly based on Sanskrit. The whole episodes until now were based on Sanskrit. Now this is the other episode which is about Bengali. So it is not very different, but slightly different. So we will quickly go to the alphabets and how to pronounce each one. If we go here, so there is this link in the kksongs.org where all the Vaishnava Acharya's songs are collected. This is a very nice resource. In that there is a page, Bengali pronunciation. If you go to the search in that website and then type Bengali pronunciation, you can get to this page. So this page, you can see there are the character in Bengali, how they write in Bengali language, and then their English or Romanized equivalent so that we can read them even if we are not Bengali. So this is called the IAST method. This is actually it was developed for Sanskrit, but pretty much all Indic scripts, that means all the Indian languages, can be represented by this system, although not every time it's perfect, and that is actually the case with Bengali. So the spelling is in one way, but the pronunciation is in another way. Like for example, it is like English. For example, if I say should, the sound is like SHUD, but then we have SHOULD. For a person who does not know how to pronounce it, he may say should. So so basically what you see is not what you get. So when you see it, you can't immediately make out the pronunciation sometimes, but it is not as confusing as in English, Bengali. It's pretty much standard in that sense. So let's get into it. So vowels, first is a. So in Hindi or in Sanskrit or in like I am from Andhra, so I speak Telugu. So in Telugu or any of these languages, we say a. I think in all of the Indian languages, mostly. Maybe Assamese is a little bit different because Assamese is close to Bengali. Excuse me. So except for that, usually it's a. But in Bengali, it is more like o, like in raw, RAW, as you can see here, o. It comes o. So how to say, like bhaya, they say bhoy. The last consonant also sometimes is not pronounced, the last vowel, but that is how it is written, but it is not pronounced. Just like in Hindi. In Hindi also, the last vowel is not pronounced. Like for example, let's see if we can. Okay. If we want to write, say, Ram in Hindi. Oops, that was the wrong pen. Okay, so that's black. Okay, so Ram. This is Ram. Actually, in Sanskrit, this is Rama. But Hindi, that a is not pronounced. So it's as if it's like this. For those who know Hindi, they will understand. It's like the spelling is like this, but then it is pronounced like this, Ram. So similarly, although this part is not there, but still Rama, it is not said Rama, is Ram. So that is how Hindi is. So therefore, it is not exactly a perfect language. Same with Bengali and maybe some other Indian languages. So Sanskrit is perfect. Like when you see, that's exactly how you pronounce it. There's no other varieties, nothing. But in other languages, it's a little bit different. So So, a good example would be, like for example, we say Arjuna. In Sanskrit, it's Arjuna. So, Arjuna. No, the last is also pronounced. So, Arjuna. But in Hindi, it will be Arjun. The is not pronounced. So, that's how Hindi is. And same with Bengali. But this becomes Orjun. It's like or O sometimes. Orjun or Arjun. So, like that kind of sound it will come. So, that is Bengali. Premikash Prabhu is here in the audience. So, I actually had some doubts. So, I actually called him before the class to just clarify those sounds, how to pronounce. So, he's also here and he wrote something in Bengali. Hare Krishna. Wait, let's try to read this. He's written something in Bengali. Hare Krishna with Tattvavit Prabhu okay. I will not try to read that. I can try a little bit, but I can't. So anyway, so Arjun. So it becomes Arjun, and this is the reason why sometimes they pronounce as Ramo. But Prabhupada wanted us to pronounce Rama. And let's go back. So that is So it is a little bit different, you see. And then is the same as in Sanskrit, like A in father, same. E is E, same like in Sanskrit. E means E in Dirgha is also same. U is same. R. In Sanskrit we say R with a dot. In Sanskrit we pronounce it as R. But for Bengali we say this is the kind of pronunciation it gets, Ri. And in Gujarati they say Ru. So they say, therefore in Gujarati they say Krishna. And even in Telugu also they pronounce it as Krishna. So it becomes Ru. So here it is Ri, and in Sanskrit it's R. That is how Sanskrit is. And next is Ri. There is another elongated version of it, but not much. A. Okay. This A is sometimes A and sometimes A. Like it's very rare only for ek. Like ek in Hindi or Sanskrit, eka. In Hindi we would write like this. Sorry, my handwriting is terrible. This is ek. In Sanskrit, the same thing, exactly the same script for Hindi and Sanskrit, but the pronunciation slightly different, almost all the same, but sometimes different. So here, in Sanskrit we say eka, in Hindi we say ek. In Bengali, of course, the script is different. I don't know how to write Bengali. There they say ak. But other places, the same A is pronounced as A, but in ak they say a. So that sound comes. So acta means one, like how to say, like one phone, two phones, three phones, like. So when there is a count, then they say acta, duita. So in this way they say tinta. So in act, dui, tin, like this, act, they pronounce it like that. Oh, that not pronunciation. Okay. My brother is also putting a comment there in Bengali. Apnar Sri Charane, Dandavat Pranam Sri Charane. So that's how they say in Bengali. So that is A. Then we have, now it's a little bit tricky. Okay. In Sanskrit, after A comes I, and in Hindi they say A, like A, like Aishwarya in Sanskrit would be in Hindi Aishwarya. So they make it A. In Bengali it's different. It becomes Oi. So because I is actually coming from A to E, if you remember the second session, I, so from A to E, A, E. So I. So because this A is pronounced as O or O, then E, then O plus E, Oi. So in that way they say Oi. Like Aikya, in Sanskrit it will be Aikya, that means oneness. But in Hindi they may say Aikya, but then in Bengali they say Oiko. So Kya can be pronounced as Kka. So it becomes this spelling or this pronunciation, sorry, not spelling. Spelling is always like Aikya, but they pronounce this as Oiko, actually Oiko. So when this Y is half, like Kya, instead of Kya they say Ko, Kko, like that. So that is something with Bengali. So these are just, So these are something which we need to remember in Bengali. That's why when you see a spelling, it's not exactly. We will actually go through some sample verses and see how the pronunciation actually happens. How we would pronounce if it was Sanskrit, and how they actually pronounce in Bengali. Okay, O is pronounced as O, same. Ow is pronounced as O, or sometimes ow also, like low, O, like this. See, here it is the closest sound. It can be slightly different, like Prem Prabhu, for example, he may say, no, this is not exactly the way, but so there can be slight differences in the accent, in the what is that, dialect of Bengali. It is said that I think in Bangladesh, it's such a small country, there are, I think, how many dialects? I think almost 100 or something. Different kinds of dialects of Bengali itself. In India, the Bengal region, the Assam region, all this, and then Bangladesh, everything. There are so many dialects of Bengali. Like for example, Prem Prabhu, he comes from Chittagong, part of Bangladesh. In that place, other Bengalis cannot understand it. If he speaks Bengali in his own dialect, in his village dialect, in his district dialect, Chittagong dialect, nobody can understand. Even Bengalis don't understand. It's that different. So, yeah. So, even in Telugu this is there, and even in Hindi this is there. Different dialects of, different dialects of the language. But in Bengali it's especially more prominent. So, anyway, so there is some variation in the spelling, but mostly this is the way that we are trying to show. Ow. And then we have consonants. Of course, there is aha. So, is usually pronounced as like song. I will show you another resource actually. 1 second. You see here. Okay. You see that? Anuswara. Like NG in song. You see that? Anuswara. M with a dot above it. After O, ow, and then H with a dot below. M with a dot above is Anuswara, which is there in the Sanskrit also. But then here it is pronounced as like samsara. In Sanskrit we would pronounce it as samsara. In Hindi they say sansara. So in Bengali they say sanshar. So like this. So there is a difference of pronunciation. And then aha is the same, visarga is the same. Then there is chandrabindu. Chandrabindu is also there. Like French. Bomb or something. French. Yeah. So N in French. So it's like the French is there, it's like nasal sound. French. So that is chandrabindu. And then there is another type of nya. This is chavarga. We will go to this in the consonants. Okay, now here you see ka, k. You see that k there? That is ka. So same as in Sanskrit, ka. Kha, kh. It's like kh in Eckhart. Kha. Not like that. G, ga as in got. So same, ga. Then gha, big house. Pronounce it together. So big house, gha. So that's gha. But they don't say gha, they say gha. Font is very small. Oni Datta Prabhu is saying Chittagong language, yes, none can understand. So big house, gha. And then N with a dot above is bank. This is I think found in the, where it is found? No, this is kavarga. Ka kha ga gha nga. Bank. So and then cha is the same as in Sanskrit. So we will skip that. Ja is same as in joy, ja, and then jha, college hall. In Singapore they say college hall, they will separate it. But if you speak, Westerners or usually they join the words college hall to the jha, that sound, and then T with the dot below is ta as in talk. And then th, tha, t with the dot below, and then h is tha, thakur, thakur. And then d with the dot below is d, as in dawn. D with the dot below, and then h is dha, good house, dha. That. You see the bold dh, good house. That dha sound. And then n with the dot below is na. And then t, just t, is like talk with the tongue against the teeth. So it's like ta. Teeth, like teeth. When you say teeth, th, that sound. Teeth. Ta. Same as in Sanskrit. Right? Then there is tha, then the, then dha, then na. All this is same. Pa is pa. Now pa, ph, is sometimes pa, but most of the time it's fa, just as in Hindi. But in Sanskrit that is wrong. In Sanskrit it has to be pa. It cannot change. But in other Indian languages it can be fa. So Bengali also it can be fa. Sometimes it can be pa. Pa is also not wrong, but usually it's pronounced as fa. And then ba. B for ba, that's the same sound. And then bh is bha, same. M is ma. Ya, why? In Sanskrit it is ya, it's very clear, ya. But in Bengali it can be both ya or ja. Say ja, like j in jaw. So they say jaw, and actually they don't say ja. As we know, a is o, so everything becomes o. So instead of ja they say jaw, and pa pa ba bha ma, for them is po pho bo bho mo. So like this, like with the o kind of sound. And then ma ja ya ra la va, for us is like that, but actually they don't have va. For them there is no va. They use the same ba, but it can be pronounced as va or ba. Like this ba, where is it? Ba. You see the B there? So that B, I think there is a lag. Okay. So the B is also used as V. So like Vaishnava, they say Vaishnav, but it is not wrong to say Vaishnav also. So in that way. So there are two ways you can pronounce that. And then ya, ra, la. So va is actually not there. Whenever we see va, it is actually ba. So but it can be pronounced as va also. And then there is sha and sha, like in shop. So in Sanskrit it is more pronounced sha, sha, sa. But in Bengali also it is supposed to be like that. But mostly it is, sometimes even the sa, as in sun, s without the dot or the accent on top, even that sometimes is pronounced as sha. Like J, janme janme prabhu she, chakhu dan dilo J, janme janme prabhu she. Actually it is say. So so I was actually asking Prem Vikas Prabhu about this. So he said in Kolkata they would say, but in Bangladesh or in other parts of even maybe India, in Bengali areas, so they may pronounce it as she. Okay, there is definitely a bit of lag here because I can feel it. There is some lag. Okay, let me see if anything is obstructing. Okay, this one I will close it. So if there are some programs which can slow it, it will become slow. So there is one such program open which I did not see before I started it. So probably that is causing. Okay, let's see if it improves over time. Okay. So sha, sha, sa. So all these are sha and sha and sa. So this is almost the same as Sanskrit, but sometimes the pronunciation can vary a little bit here and there. Ha is home, same. So basically that is the pronunciation of Bengali. So now let's actually look at verses, because then we will actually see how much it will be different when we pronounce it. So and yeah, there are some other things which I need to mention. There are joint alphabets, like for example Satya. Satya. You see this tya in Bengali, so the a becomes a. So saw. Tya becomes to, T-T-O. Tya, instead of tya, they say to, like especially when it comes at the end. Sotto, sotto, sotto. So like this, sotto. It pronounces like this. And the same T-Y-A, Tyaga, for example. Tyaga is pronounced as Taga, Taga, or they don't even pronounce the other one, the A at the end. So it's tag, tag. So it's like ankle, ankle. The pronunciation of A in ankle, that kind of a. So tag, tag. So like they will pronounce it like that. The ya sound actually in the pure form it is tyag, like in Hindi tyag, but mostly in Bengali it is pronounced as tag. So it becomes like that. It's like tag, but the T is like teeth. Oh. Like teeth, the TH in teeth. So and then instead of tag, you pronounce it as tag. So in that way. So this is how. So that is in the beginning, and then in the end, when it comes, tya becomes ta, tto. So in this way, there is some differences, and another one will be ksha. So this is very prominent. This in Sanskrit will be kshatriya, but they pronounce as Kshatriya. So the ksha becomes kha, like chakshu. They write like this. Chakshu, but the pronoun, the way they pronounce is chokhu. Chokhu. So no, sorry. This is K, yeah, and this is H. Chokhu. So they will write as chakshu, but they pronounce as chokhu, and they will write as kshatriya. They will not write as khatriya. The spelling is kshatriya, but the way they pronounce is khatriya. So this is some differences in Bengali. And anything else? Yeah, basically that. So for example, if they say Vaishnav, Vaishnava, in Sanskrit we say Vaishnava, or in Hindi they say Vaishnav, or no, they say Vaishnav, where the AI becomes A, but in Sanskrit is Vaishnava. In Hindi Vaishnav, but in Bengali Vaishnav. So this is of course S with a dot. Vaishnav. So they say Vaishnav. So in this way there is differences, but it is not wrong to say Vaishnav. It is not wrong because that's how they write it. But in the Bengali alphabet there is no V separately. Ba and V is the same. So it can be pronounced as this way or that way. So it is not wrong to say Vaishnav, but it can also be pronounced as Vaishnav. So these are some of the highlights of Bengali pronunciation. Let's look at some of the verses now. Let's go to so this is a Sloka book. I'm trying to take out some verses. Maybe another one. Yeah, it's already covered. Ya is pronounced as ja also. Okay, let's go to this. So these are the often quoted verses by Prabhupada. Okay, this is quite an often quoted verse by Prabhupada. Kiba Vipra, Kibanyasi. This is how we would probably read it if it was Sanskrit. Kiba Vipra, Kibanyasi, Shudra Kene Naya, Yai Krishna Tattvavit, Sei Guru Haya. But this is not at all how we pronounce in Bengali. Kiba Vipro. It is not wrong to say Vipra also. So Vipra is okay. Vipra and Bipro is same. Kiba Bipro Kibo Nasi. Shudro Kene Noy is not Naya. They will never say Naya. Noy. The last A is not pronounced, just like in Hindi. So the A becomes O. So instead of Nai, Noy. So Noy is the effective pronunciation of this. So Naya. So this is silent. Okay, just like in Hindi. So this Nai. So Naya becomes, if you take out the A, it becomes Nai. But the A, because it's A and Bengali is O, so Noy. So the end pronunciation will become like this. Shudra kene noy. And YEI is pronounced as J. Jai Krishna Tattvavit. Tattva. You see Tattva. When there is this half vowels with the consonants like TYA, like Satya or Tattva, they become Sotto, Totto. So that's why if a Bengali want to pronounce, if you want to call me, they say Tattvavit. They don't say Tattvavit. They say Tattvavit. So my name Tattvavit Das. In Sanskrit, in Bengali will become Das again. So in Sanskrit it is dāsa, Tattvavit dāsa. But das is also alright, because in Bengali or in other languages the A is removed from at the end. So that's why although the name is DASA, it can also be pronounced as Tattvavit Das or dāsa in Sanskrit. So in Bengali this would become Tattvavit Das, and the Das sometimes they pronounce as Dash. So Tattvavit Dash. So my name will become like this. Tattvavit. So the Va. So basically this Tya and Tva become same. TTO TTO. See that? Tya and Tva becomes, but of course the same Tya comes at the beginning. Tyaga becomes Tag. Tag. So tag. So that is, but it is not wrong to say Tyag. That is also correct. Tag is also correct. So that way. Then, so Jai Krishna Tattvavit She. Can say Sei, can also say She. This is how Bengali is. So you just have to get used to it. It's not exactly perfect like Sanskrit. Sanskrit is very perfect. Whatever you see, exactly like that you have to pronounce. But Bengali, there are a few way of pronunciations. And of course, that is much more magnified in English. In English, almost much of the spellings, many spellings don't make sense. So, but Bengali is not exactly like that, a little bit like that. So, She Guru Hoy. Again, Haya, Haya. The A is not pronounced at the end. And then Hai becomes Hoy. So, Kiba Bipro Kibon Nasi Shudro Kene Noy Jai Krishna Tattvavit She Guru Hoy. So, this is how it is actually pronounced. So, as far as tune is concerned, we can just we can just chant it like this. Kiba Bipro Kibon Nasi Shudro Kene Noy Jai Krishna Tattvavit She Guru Hoy. So, of course, there are some Bengali tunes you can sing in, but usually just like this is alright. And let's take another verse. Okay. Madhya 8, 274. स्थावर जंगम देखे ना देखे तार मूर्ति. Tar, not Tara. They don't say Tara Murti. No, Tar Murti. The A is. So if the A is having a line on top, that means if it is Dirgha, if it is Tara, then you don't omit that A. You have to pronounce it Tara. But here it is not Tara. Tara means star. So Tar. If the A is a short one, Laghu, small Hrasva, so then only it is Tar. Otherwise, if it is A, maybe I have to put another example where it is A. So there it will become actually A. You have to pronounce it. I need to find out which one. So anyway, Sthavara. In Sanskrit, it would be sthavara jangama dekhe, but in Bengali, it is sthavar or sthabor. Sthabor, V becomes B. Sthabor jangam, jangam. Dekhe na. This na, as you can see here, that na is not no, because it is a with a line on top. So that is a. A is a. When it is a, then becomes o. Okay. So na dekhe. So sthabor jangam dekhe na dekhe tar murti. Sorbotra or sorbotra. It's actually sarvatra in Sanskrit, sarvatra. But in Bengali, sorbotra. Hoy, again H-A-Y-A with a small, with a not dirgha in the end. Hoy. Sorbotra hoy nija ishto devo spurti. Ishto devo spurti. So sthabor jangam dekhe na dekhe tar murti sorbotra hoy nija ishto deva spurti. So ishto deva again they will pronounce as devo or deb spurti. But because the next one is spurti, they will say debo. So debo, because from deb spurti is a little bit difficult to pronounce. So they say ishto debo spurti. Debo. So D-E-B-O. So deva becomes like that. So this is another example. Like Maha. Okay, in the translation you see the Mahabhagavata. In Sanskrit it will be Mahabhagavata. So from the spelling you can immediately get the pronunciation. But in Bengali they would say Moha, because the first one A is a short A, so it's O. But the second one is A, so that is A. And Moha Bhagavot. This is how it would pronounce. Moha Bhagavot. But it's Mahabhagavata. So, even if you can't pronounce it exactly like a Bengali, it doesn't matter. If you say Mahabhagavat, it is still not wrong. It is not wrong. It is just that the way they pronounce it is like that. But if you say Mahabhagavat, it is not wrong. So sometimes, especially we should take note of the last, like hoy. Instead of saying haya is something totally out. That is not pronounced like that at all. Haya, but the writing is like that. Ha and ya, ha and ja. So hoy, that is actually written like that, but not pronounced like that. It's hoy. And let's take another verse. Krishna Surya Sama. Maybe you can take out that one. This is okay. We'll just take this one. I like actually this verse very much. I wanted to memorize this, but I never did it. I did it, but I forgot again. 6227. Oops. This is the one. Oh, Madhya, Antya. 6227. Okay. You see this? This Caitanya-caritamrta, Antilila, chapter 6, text 227. जिह्वार लाल से जय इति उति धाय शिष्णोदर परायण कृष्ण नाहि पाए. So जिह्वार लाल से. So this is actually mostly it is the same. जिह्वार लाल से जय. So Y-E-I becomes J. So J. So जिह्वार लाल से जय इति उति धाय. So it's not dhaya. It's not dhaya. Dhai. So the last A is not pronounced. And it is not dhoi because it is not the short A. It is long. Dha. Dhaya. So the A is taken out. Dhai. जिह्वार लालसे जय इति उति धाय शिष्णोदर पारायण कृष्ण नाहि पाए. So it again nahi. It's a N with a and a elongation on top, the line on top. That means nahi. It's not nohi. Nahi pai. A is not pronounced P-A-Y. So pai. So in that way. The meaning is very nice. One who is subservient to the tongue and who thus goes here and there, devoted to the genitals and the belly, cannot attain Krishna. So if we run after sense gratification, tongue, belly and genitals, we cannot get Krishna. Like the first verse of the Nectar of Instruction. Vacho vegam manasah krodha vegam jihva vegam udaropastha vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dhira sarvam api mam prithivim sashishyat. So a person who has conquered all these urges can actually be a full Goswami, complete. He is the person who is at the shelter of Krishna and he can be the spiritual master for the entire world. But if we are after this greed of the tongue, the belly and the genitals, then Krishna nahi paye. Jihvar lalase jay iti uti dhai. Iti uti means here and there. Dhai means run. So forced by the tongue, jihvar lalase. Lalase means the greed of the tongue. The tongue is always two ways. It is making us run. One is for food, here and there, eat everything and anything and everything, all nonsense. And another is talk nonsense. Nowadays you see social media, how much talking is going on. Tongue, of course now they type, but the same is about speech. So that so much gossip, so much unnecessary topics are being discussed, and all that is jihvar lalasam, the greed of the tongue. Talk nonsense, eat nonsense. So in this way, jihvar lalase jay iti uti dhai. So here and there, if we run forced by the tongue, and shishnodhar parayan means very dedicated. Parayan means devoted to. You see, parayan means Narayana paraha sarve. So those who are dedicated to Narayan, and same Shishnodhar Parayan means dedicated to what? Shishna and Udara. Udara means stomach, Shishna means genitals. So Shishnodhar Parayan, Krishna nahi pai. They cannot get Krishna. Very nice verse. So like this, you kind of get the idea now. Okay, let's take this one. Antya 6.236. This is a good example. Okay, you see here. Gramya katha na shunibe, gramya varta na kohibe, bhala na khaibe, ara bhala na poribe. So, but in the Bengali, it is grammo. MYA becomes MMO. MYA becomes MMO. So grammo kotha. So the first one is O. Okay. Second katha katha. So ka becomes kotha. So grammo kotha na shunibe, grammo varta na kohibe. You see, ko. Kohibe. And bhalo, you see, it's not bhala, bhalo na khaibe ar. So here bhal, here it is not said bhal na khaibe, bhalo na khaibe. So sometimes it is used, sometimes it is not used. So in this case bhalo it is said. Khub bhalo means very good. Bhalo means good. So actually it is, if you write in the spelling, it is bhala, but the way it is pronounced, la becomes lo. Bhalo na khaibe ar. Can say aro, but here it is not said aro. R. Bhalo na khaibe ar, bhalo na Poribe. So sometimes this R, Poribe, can be pronounced as Poribe, D, like D sound comes sometimes. I think even in Hindi this happens sometimes, if I am not wrong, sometimes, not, and in some accents. So Poribe, or sometimes it is like Poribe, like Pakora, in Hindi they say Pakoda, but it's pronounced as Pakora in Bengali, Pakora. So sometimes it can become D sound, Alright, so these are some of the examples. So just keep these things in mind, that Bengali pronunciation is not exactly the same as Sanskrit. So when you see the spelling, you cannot immediately use that as the pronunciation. No, it is not pronounced like that sometimes. So just keep in mind about this, and then as you read more and more, you will get more hang of it. And all our songs and everything, therefore, as you practice more and more, then you will get the hang of it. It's just, that's how you will learn. Mostly otherwise, it's the same as Sanskrit, just a little bit difference. So alright, I think just that much for Bengali pronunciation. I don't know if you have any doubts about any particular words, maybe we can go through them. At this point, I don't get anything in my mind that requires more explanation. Yeah. Even one other, maybe I'll show. Anya. So whenever there is an ya that is joined with the consonant like nya or mya or tya, the consonant will become double and then o. So it become onno. So anya becomes onno. So that is how it is done. So whenever the y or v, the half vowels are ya, ra, la, va, but for them va is not there. Va is same as ba, but it can be also considered as va because sometimes it can be pronounced as va. So when that happens with the consonant, then the sound varies. And then kshatriya is something which you have to kshatriya becomes khotriya. So like that. That's it. And that's pretty much it. And now we can spend some time for you if you have any questions regarding any part of this course, whether it be why we should learn shlokas, the first session, second lesson about pronunciation of Sanskrit, and about sandhi viched, like joining and division of words, or whether it is how to chant it in the proper meters, anything regarding meters or the tune, or if it is about understanding some shloka, like the other day day before yesterday we have covered that, the understanding, how to understand shloka. And then yesterday was about, what was it yesterday? Yeah, practical techniques for memorization of shlokas, all the tools and the kind of devices we can use. Devices means not just like gadgets, I would say the tools which we can use in remembering, like what is that? Active recall, spaced repetition, and there is active recall is basically testing yourself always, and then spaced repetition, and then cornell note taking system, flashcards, or what is the other one? Mind maps, spider diagrams. So anything, any part, or even Bengali pronunciation, whatever it is, if you have any questions, you can leave them and we will discuss those. Otherwise, pretty much we're at the end. So take advantage of this time. So ask anything that you want if you have. But I go about Sloka learning. Alright. Okay. First, Anir Bideshi Prabhu has asked, I want to know what are the key verses one should start to memorize. So memorize the Mangalaarathi song. The verses or the songs that we sing every day, it should be in our memory. The Gurvashtakam song, the one which we sing in Mangalaarathi, Samsara dava nalalidha loka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam. So that song should be in memory, all 8 verses, and with understanding every single word you should know what it means. Okay, and then comes Guru Vandana song, Tulsi Arati song, Narasimha song, and Namo Vishnupadaya, Namaste Saraswati Deve, this Prabhupada Pranati mantra, and Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, this verse, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And please know the meaning of all these verses. Even Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, some devotees actually, I am surprised, sometimes they do not know the meaning of the verse. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, what is the meaning? It's a Panchatattva, and then who is who? So whose names are there? And so pay attention. What I would say, my biggest advice is pay attention. It's only because of a lack of attention do we have these problems of so many years into the movement or months or whatever, but still we do not know things, is because we don't pay attention. For example, now we are having this course. Nobody taught me this way. Nobody. There was no one who made me sit down and say, okay, this is how you pronounce, and this is how the words are joined and removed, and why we should remember shlokas, or like what are the practical techniques, or how to understand a shloka in depth, and all this word to word meaning, and then the group of words. All these things nobody taught me. So how did we learn then? Because by observation, by how it is being used, how Prabhupada used them, how the devotees used them, and then pay attention. Yes, Srila. Even for that matter, the mridanga, sometimes or devotees say, oh Prabhu, you play mridanga nicely, you teach me. So yeah, we do teach mridanga for kids and adults here. But of course I'm not an expert at all, but a little bit I can play. But that also, we just paid attention and learned. There was no teacher. I can go to Mayapur and learn somewhere, but where is we are preaching and we are out here in Singapore, so there is no option. So we just have to look at videos, and in our free time, take the initiative. Nobody needs to tell us, okay, do this, do that. We have to be proactive and learn these things on our own. So of course, because many devotees may not have access to this, or they don't have a background of Sanskrit or something like that. So yeah, okay, we are more than willing to share this knowledge. But then the way we learned it was not exactly like this at all. We just attended classes every day, that's it. That's all. That was our training all the way. And then from there we just picked up all these things over the years. And that's how we have this. And of course now we present it in a structured manner. But so now you have the starting, usually it's a starting trouble. So now I'm hoping that this course will get you up to speed. And once you start, and then pay attention and observe and learn. One thing you should always know, that if I'm doing something, I should know what I'm doing. So therefore, if we are singing all those songs every day, I should know them by heart, and I should know the meaning of each of those songs, and I should appreciate the deep meaning of those songs and everything. And you may ask, why it is so important? Because actually our spiritual life, our stability in our spiritual life depends on how well we understand these things. Our daily rituals. That's why we had the Strengthening Foundation series. That was it's a very, very important series. Every devotee must go through. 19 episodes of that. In fact, there are more episodes to come, as and when we can insert those episodes into that playlist of our videos. So these, the Gaurarti song also should be in memory, Tulsi Arati song. And apart from this song, for shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, as I said, repeated a few times in this course, this book, there is a PDF version of this as well. I think in one of the sessions it was shared. We will share it again at the end of this session as well. Maybe after this session is finished. In the comment section we will share this link of the PDF of this book. This is a compilation of most often quoted verses by Srila Prabhupada from various sources. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Caitanya-caritamrta, like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu or Narada Bhakti Sutra, or sometimes just Proverbs, and even other Puranas, and Vedas or Upanishads, and then there is Acharya's songs. Everything that Prabhupada used to quote is there in this book. So this book is a really good resource, and you can start from the very first and then you can start memorizing. But also I would say you listen to Prabhupada's lectures or read the transcripts of his lectures and take note and how Prabhupada is using that verse. Like you can learn the verses from this, but then how to apply them. So you will see how Prabhupada applies them in his lectures, how he uses the word to explain this and that, this and that. So we will know how this verse, learning is one thing, then we need to know how to apply it, right, in every situation. So that is what we will learn when we listen to lectures. And how the speaker is Prabhupada and the devotees. When listening to the lectures, we can see how they are using that verse to connect this subject to this subject, and in which context they use the verse. All these things we can learn, and these also were not taught to us in specifically made us sit down and no, it is just how we observed how it was used by Prabhupada, in what context, how he used it, and how the devotees used it while preaching. That's how we learned also. So pay attention. Biggest advice is pay attention. So this is a good book resource, and in Bhagavad Gita also there are many. Actually, all the important verses of Bhagavad Gita are in this book. So this is a good place to start with. Of course, the songs which I said every day that we sing, please memorize those and understand them. Otherwise, this book is very good. If you don't have one, if you want a hard copy, sometimes we prefer a hard copy. Just take the verse out, like that, instead of a PDF and searching. So if you want, you can order it here in Singapore. And if you're elsewhere, maybe in your local ISKCON temple somewhere, you can find also this book. So it is called Selected Verses from the Vedic Scriptures. It is also called the Prabhupada Shloka's book, Prabhupada Shloka book. So because that was the previous title of this book, now they changed the title, but the same book basically. Then the next question, Ashwani Kumar Sharma. Could you please give a complete videos on YouTube which will be easy to learn Sanskrit, or else provide some other method? So in this series we have taught how to learn Sanskrit. Basics, very basic, as much as is necessary to understand Srila Prabhupada's books. And the basic purpose of this course is not to become a Sanskrit scholar, it is to be able to read Srila Prabhupada's books. So the Sanskrit that we taught, it is very, very basic, yes, but that much is enough for us to get up to speed in reading Prabhupada's books. And as we read more and more, our vocabulary will improve, our application of all those principles that we learned in this course will improve over time. But if you want to learn Sanskrit per se, then you have to learn other places. But there is a Sanskrit channel, there is a YouTube channel called Sanskrit channel. But you know what? We don't want to be distracted by learning Sanskrit. It's not about the language, it's about the substance. If we spend time on learning other things than Krishna consciousness, it will be a waste of time. So we will learn it to the point where we can use it in Krishna consciousness. But to be more involved in Sanskrit per se, I mean, if you can learn, you can. I don't say no, but human life is meant for going back to Godhead. So don't waste time. This is my advice. It's not just my advice, it is the Shastra's advice. Even if you learn Sanskrit and with that Sanskrit you learn the Shastra will say, Adi Shankaracharya himself said, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukkrin Karane. This Sanskrit knowledge will not help you. At the time of death, that is the final exam. At that time, this Sanskrit knowledge will not help you. You have to Bhaja Govindam. You have to worship Govinda. That will help you at the time of death. So, we should always not lose track of our real goal of human life. Our real goal of human life is not to become a Sanskrit scholar or to become a good musician or nothing of these things. We have to just become a devotee, a pure devotee of Krishna. That is the ultimate goal of human life. So if we miss the point and get attracted to all these things, Sanskrit knowledge, or if one is even more austere in yoga, if he's a yogi, then trying to get yogic perfections and trying to be a great scholar, all these things are distractions. We just have to be a devotee of Krishna. And of course, to know many verses from our scriptures and to be able to quote them is good. So that is all right. Take the knowledge from our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada's books, and then quote it in preaching. That is all good. That gyan is spiritual. That is kirtanam. That is actually devotional service. That is bhakti. That is not jnana yoga. It is actually bhakti yoga. Jnana yoga is when there is speculation involved. So that is jnana yoga. And trying to speculate, like fully speculation means like what the scientists are doing. Complete speculation, like they are just having their own theories about things and all this. That is complete jnana only, or rather ajnana, ignorance in one way, but their quest for jnana. But jnana yoga means to know or to speculate within the boundaries of Krishna's instruction. Like rasoham apsu kaunteya, Krishna says, I am the taste of water. Now a devotee will accept that. Rasoham apsu kaunteya, yes, Krishna is the taste of water. Whenever he drinks water, okay, he can remember the taste of water. A jnana yogi would, Krishna said, I am the taste of water. Okay, let me actually see how Krishna is the taste of water. Like the satisfaction that we get and all this. So it is like, contemplating on it and, how to say, going into that. A devotee will not be, like for example, there is creation mentioned in the Bhagavatam. So much detail about creation, about what is the speed of each planet's rotation and revolution and the all the size and the orbit. Everything is mentioned. So many things are mentioned in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam. Now, a science-minded person, he will be interested in, hey, where is this planet? What is this planet? So although that information is there, but if we are distracted to that, although it is within the Vedas, that is called Jnana Yoga. So it's like, yes, it is good to know, but then our attraction should not waver from Krishna. It's not that, oh yeah, I'm interested in this, yeah, I need to really understand, how the universe works and everything. So that is not our goal. It is mentioned so that to satisfy our curiosity to a little bit, but then we should appreciate that this is the Leela of Krishna. Krishna has created such a huge universe with such beautiful planets, and each planet has its own atmosphere, and billions and trillions of living entities are on each and every planet, and such heavy planets without any aerodynamics. So like a round ball, it doesn't have wings. Like an aeroplane, it has wings and therefore it can fly. They say aerodynamics, but there's no aerodynamics for a round ball. How is it floating in the air? Like that. So this is the beauty of Krishna, how he has made these gigantic airplanes that are planets. And even for example, we see the clouds. Clouds are nothing but water. Tons and tons of water. When it rains, suppose there's a heavy cloud and it rains, cities sometimes get flooded and everything. So how many thousands and millions of tons of water is pouring down. But all the tons of water is just in the clouds until then was carried, without any tanker, without any aeroplane, nothing. Just in the wind, tons and tons of water is being carried. How is it floating? There is no aerodynamics. So tons. Of course, there is density is less and all that. But but Earth, for example, is so dense. How is it moving? In the space. So in this way, we can see a devotee sees the same thing, and he will glorify Krishna. Whereas a jnana yogi would take those instructions from Vedas, but then speculate on those things and then get distracted in that way. So we don't want to get distracted in Sanskrit and all these things. We have to always, our focus should be Krishna. So we have to learn that much Sanskrit as is necessary for us to understand the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and read them and understand and become a devotee. So that is the aim. Alright, what else? How you remember shlokas number like BG 93 or SB 1 to 46? How you find the shlokas when you need it on the spot? Okay, so this is Prem Vikas Prabhu is asking how to remember the Shloka number. So, yeah, for example, Dehinosmin Yatha Dehe Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara, it is 213. So, you can know the Sanskrit, and then we can just by those words we can understand the meaning. But then, how to know the number of it, and why is it important to know the number? So, of course, in the beginning I used to find that I cannot never remember the numbers. I just remember the words in that, and then I'll just search for the word and go to that in order to show the verse. But number, as I told, I think yesterday maybe, that number is also useful because suppose you are calling someone, and on the other side that person have some problems, or he needs some counseling, and or just a casual talk, anything. So if you are discussing on Bhagavad Gita and he has a Bhagavad Gita book with him, and if you want to say, okay, take out that verse which says yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana, then he will say, what is that? Yoginam api sarvesham, yoginam. Then he will have to go to the index. The index is at the end of the book. So he can still find it, yoginam, and then if he knows the spelling. If he is bad with spellings or something, then again that will be another big difficulty. So he can find in the index if he is good at this, if he can hear the spelling and he can understand, pronunciation, and he can hear, the spelling, then he can take out from the index, and then, but it will take time. But if instead I said take out chapter 6 verse 47, it is easier, So what I do is, when I learn the verse in the Sanskrit, at that same time in my mind I also remember the number at the same time. So whichever verse I learn, I immediately remember the number along with it, as if it's part of the verse. Of course I don't say it, but in my mind I say it. So yoginam api sarvesham 647, or dharma projyata kaitavotra parama nirmatsaranam, okay, 112. So in this way, as we are learning the verses, we also learn the number of the verse. Just keep it together, don't separate it. So as we are learning the sloka, remember the number also. It's useful. It's not necessary. You can just remember the shlokas, but it is good to know where exactly the shloka is. It also helps in this way. For example, 3 modes of material nature. Suppose I want to say about sacrifice in the mode of ignorance. It is in 1713. Now I can just remember the verse. Like, what is that verse? What is that? Vidhihinam asrishtannam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddhavirahitam yagyam tamasam parichakshate. So I can remember this verse, but if I do not know where it comes from, one thing is, it's easy to take out, retrieve it when you're showing, and even when you're showing on the screen like this, you see, it was easy for me to just scroll through the numbers and then take it out for you. If I know the numbers, I can do this, but if I do not know, then I have to click on the search and then I have to type, and you have to wait for me until I type, and then after that I will. So it is a little bit longer. It takes a little bit longer. The other advantage is that if we know which chapter it is in which place, then we know what is the context of that verse, what are the preceding verses, what are the after this verse, what are the things that are there before and after this verse in that chapter. Like suppose like how did this verse come to be spoken? Like, why was this verse spoken? Like, what was spoken before this and what is spoken after this? Like, before this, in the 1712 is sacrifice in the mode of passion, you see. So that means before that is mode of goodness. So the goodness, passion and ignorance, the sacrifice are in those 3 verses. So I can know like what is going on in that chapter apart from this verse. What is the context of that chapter, the whole chapter? And another example would be like Krishna says, Aham bhakta paradhina. He says, I am completely under the control of my devotees. It's 9.463. Aham bhakta paradhino hi asvatantra eva dvija sadhubhir grasta hridayo bhaktair bhakta jana priyaha. Now, Sri Bhagavanuvacha, the Lord is saying himself, the Supreme Personality of God, is said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent. Because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires, I sit only within the cause of their hearts. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me. So this is a good verse to remember, where Krishna is a servant of his devotees. But then, if you know the context of this verse, why Krishna spoke this, is part of the Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj story, where Durvasa Muni has offended Ambarish Maharaj, and he went to, the Sudarshan Chakra was chasing him, and he went to Brahmaloka, Shivaloka. They could not help him. Finally, he went to Vaikuntha to ask Narayan to help him. Narayan said, this Sudarshan Chakra will leave you only if you go and fall at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj, and if he chooses to excuse you, then you can be rid of this influence of Sudarshan Chakra. And then the Sudarshan Chakra will leave you. Otherwise, you will be burnt or cut by the Sudarshan Chakra. So, as he was explaining the importance of his devotee, that's when this verse was spoken. So now you know the context. Okay, the story, So even instead of just isolating the verses and then picking them out, you can remember, but then if you remember the context of it, where it happened, how it happened, this verse, how was it spoken, then we will have more context of why exactly that was said. Because we cannot offend devotees, so because he is under the control of devotees, you see, like Yashoda Mai, she is also controlling Krishna. So devotees can control Krishna, how great they are, so we cannot offend them. So in this way, we will get that additional context of the whole thing, and then we will have that little bit of extra information which is embedded into that verse, if we understand the chapter and verse. So if we know what the chapter is about, kind of. So this is why it's important. Vishnu Teja is asking, is Chaitanya Bhagavatam in pocket Vedas? No, it is not. It's not there. Caitanya-caritamrta is there. Read now first Caitanya-caritamrta. And then first let us focus on Prabhupada's books. Alright? So many books are there. Your lifetime is not enough. Let's first read all of them. And then you can always read later on. If you have time, if you can read. I don't say no. But let us focus on Prabhupada's books and try to understand them actually. And then you can always read Chaitanya Bhagavatam maybe some other time in the future. Devotees have translated it, and just to know the story, you can read it later sometime. But let us not get deviated from reading Prabhupada's books. That is very, very important. That is our core. Our spiritual life depends on that. How much we read Prabhupada's books. All right. What else? Nothing else. Everything clear. No more questions. All right. I think so that can be a very good resource for all of you, this whole course. I know each video is quite long, but just spend that time and try to understand everything and put it into practice and put it into practice. That is the main thing. We have shared all this knowledge, but then when you put it into practice is when you will get the real fruit of it. So put everything of this into practice right from the get-go. Even if you don't have the complete system, all the Google spreadsheets, even if you don't have, just take a book and paper, book and pen. Start noting down and start learning one or two verses, each day. This is what I want to say in the end note, that just take it as, like one or two verses. Take it as a slow pace, but don't go too slow. That means you're slacking. Go at a pace which is a little bit challenging to you. It should challenge you. You will only grow when there is a challenge, when there is a kind of where you have to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. As long as you're in your comfort zone, you will not make much progress. It's difficult for me. It's easy to say, oh, this is difficult for me, I come from a different background, I come from America, or I come from China, or come from Singapore, or I'm not used to this. It's easy to say like that, but if you just put a little bit effort every day, learn a little bit, and always commit to that memorizing. Okay, memorizing. First, let us get all our daily songs and slokas that we chant, Shikshashtaka, 10 offenses, and understand them, properly. So in this way, get everything, take that proactive approach instead of waiting for someone to teach you in a course, no, take it proactively. If anything, that is my number one advice. So take proactive action and have that eagerness to learn. So as long as we have that eagerness to learn, we will always be blessed by Prabhupada and Krishna. So we should try to always learn and spend time with Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada always stressed this very much. Read my books. My books are not just for selling and for distribution. Our devotees must read my books, Prabhupada said so many times. So we have done this Sloka course and all just to induce you to spend more time with Prabhupada's books. So kindly do that, and if you can do that regularly, you will be well on your way to learn all these shlokas and apply them and everything. Because every day these classes we are doing it, but we want all of you also to become preachers like this. Every one of you that are hearing this, listening to this, watching this, you have to become a preacher. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. Jare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh, amar agyaye guru hoya tarai desh. So this is his order. We all have to become. We all have to. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Bharat bhumite manusya janma hoila jar, janma sarthak kore karo paropakar. He said, anybody who's he's an Indian, especially. It's not that it's not for the rest of them, but especially those who are Indians, they have to. He has already given us a job. We don't need to look for a job hunt. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us a job. What is that? Bharat bhumite hoilo manusya janma jar, janma sarthak karo paropakar. Perfect your life with this Krishna consciousness and spread this all around, all over the world. So let us get into that mood of not just being satisfied with our own little Krishna consciousness at home and all that. No, we have to go outreach mode and try to reach as many people. It's not that only the temple devotees have to be preachers. All of you can be preachers. Jare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh. Whomever you meet, preach to them about Krishna. If you are not preaching, that means you yourself are not convinced. Or if they ask a question, you do not know how to answer. So you try to avoid them. Or it is sometimes you have to avoid them if they are not real. If they are envious or something, you have to avoid them. But otherwise, we should always be how to sell him a book, how to preach to him, how to give him prasadam, how to somehow or other. As long as there is a single soul left in this world that is not Krishna conscious, our work has not finished. So our work is there as long as there is even a single soul who is not Krishna conscious. And the vast majority of the souls in this world are not Krishna conscious. Of course, the animals, we can't do much about them. At least the humans, we have to preach, therefore. So that effort we have to take. And it is upon each and every one of us. We have to take the responsibility. Of course, it doesn't mean that tomorrow I become a big guru somewhere. No. We have to do it under the guidance of devotees. It will take time. Get yourself trained first. We can't become a preacher if we can't become a learner first. So as it is said, you can't become a good teacher if you are not a good student. So let us be good students and learn all these things in a very systematic manner. Now, especially the yesterday's session was like learning the shlokas as if it's like a curriculum in school. Actually, we should get into that mode. We should study it with, as if it's our syllabus. It's actually our syllabus for life. It's our life syllabus. And our exam is coming. The death is coming. And we have to pass that exam. And so all this is important. So that's my final words for this. And if there is no other questions, we will stop it here. And I am hoping that this whole course would serve so many devotees in the future as well, because this is recorded and it's there on YouTube and Facebook, and you can access it at any time and share it with others. So feel free and share it with as many people as possible. What else? Nothing else. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki Jai. Hare Krishna.